within the organization. And also we have the CCTV area which is it's a new area that is added to telecom. So that's the main elements of telecommunication within the organization.
All right. So for those on the live stream that was having problems with the audio, we are here with the telecoms department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Inspector of Police Olson Rodney, Sergeant of Police Dorothy Simmons, and Police Constable LaShawn Batiste. So they're briefly going through the role of the telecoms department this morning. So first question, how do you maneuver around the traffic? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of calls that come into the police department. How do you maneuver the traffic?
Right. Prior to 2021, the system that we had was that both calls would come on to the same phone at the same time, the emergency and the 71211, which is the public itself.
Mm-hmm.
But however, the government in 2021 would have they did an excellent job in bringing forth a new department for us, a new section at Kittles Police Station, which is more comfortable, new equipment, and it's much better now than prior to 2021. So now what we have is the 71211 phone system, which is separated now from the 911. So the 911 or 999, it's now by itself. So we're giving that more priority.
Okay.
So is it that telecoms has moved to Kittles or?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Telecom is more in
okay.
a spacious area in telecom, and we do our operation from there.
Ah.
Okay. So is it that you we no longer call stations directly? We go straight to telecom, and then telecom will transfer us to the various stations?
No. Well, what we have, you have the choice where the public can still call a police station direct, or they can call 71211 and they would be transferred to whichever department they wishes.
Okay.
Yes, especially around Kingston. When you call 71211, they would just transfer you to an extension. So if you want the traffic department or you want the special services unit, they would just transfer you to that department.
Okay. Moving on to Sergeant Simmons. I'm pretty sure he got a lot of teasing with that name, Sergeant. Sergeant Simmons, could you tell us what your role is?
Well, my role is that of a manager or supervisor. And also the emergency aspect. With this is a very sensitive area because this is where persons calling for most of the time for help and serious help or also for prank. And that's a very big issue that we have right now. The emergency section can be contacted to the 62906, the 71211, the Cisco phone that we have now, the 911 or the 999.
All right. So for our listeners, what is a Cisco phone?
That's the...
It's the new phone system that we're operating on right now.
Okay. So is it a program?
Yes.
Okay.
And also with the Cisco phone is a general something, new phone system within the whole government system. So you know what telecom, or you know what any area within the police force, you can call another government department using that extension.
Okay.
So you mean rather than having to go through PBX, what
Right.
the system was before?
Right.
Okay.
So the older system, you'll go through PBX and they will transfer you to whether police or what and what. The difference now is that you at the police department now can call agriculture. You can call foreign affairs using that extension.
Okay.
So for the younger listeners, PBX is the system used that you call the government and they transfer you to whatever department. That was before the introduction of emailing, DMing, and all of these innovative things. I'm chuckling because I have not heard PBX in a really long time. But Sergeant Simmons, you had brought up the issue of pranking. Could you tell us more about that?
Okay, for example, somebody might call and say that there's a murder
Mm-hmm.
at Mespo.
Mm-hmm.
We now have to gather everybody who is responsible, who's supposed to react to that. And upon reaching the scene, there's nothing, no such thing, no murder, no fighting, nothing. That's where the caller call and we'll say like send the police on a wild goose chase.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but with that, your system allows you to save numbers, to store numbers.
Yes.
So, can persons be prosecuted for this, for making prank calls?
It's a situation where it's not just straightforward because you still have to go through the different entities. You have Lime, which is
Flow?
Flow, and Digicel and so on, and then you still have the other parts that you have to go through. You have to write to them. You have to get permission for information and records, and
But
So-
an example, sorry,
No,
but,
go ahead, go
but
ahead.
an example can be made of an individual because, I mean, yes, the process might be a bit tedious, but the point of it is that calling 911 or calling 999 is a serious issue, right? And if you're going to be calling to making prank calls, we need to put, well, not necessarily put faces to these individuals, but persons need to be made examples of as a deterrent for other persons to do so. So, yeah.
Yes, I think
second that.
it's something where we have to go back to the books because things that would have happened, the rules or the laws that we had before.
Mhm.
You understand? Maybe today's world where you having persons doing some things, some these old stupidness. Sad to say. We now have to draft things to deal with them.
Yeah, but shouldn't prank calls fall under false reports?
LaShawn?
Uh,
No?
It's something that we're looking at right now because I had conversations not too long ago with our legal counterparts within the organization, and it's something that we are discussing on now.
Okay. And I think it's important to note that the prank calls are quite dangerous. 'Cause as Sergeant Simmons pointed out in her example, if it is that you call and you say there's a murder in Mespo and police pool their resources and send these officers to Mespo and a situation happened in Richland Park and police weren't able to respond on time because they already put a lot of their manpower into Mespo. Not just a murder. If you call and you say there's a bomb scare or there's a huge fight happening or something that requires a lot of police officers, then you're taking away from the other instances in which the police could possibly save a life. So please deter from doing such foolishness, please.
Man, bring charges. Bring charges.
Yeah, because what you'll find these days, and as you rightly said, you're looking at resources. For you to have the fire truck moving from Kingston to Bayaboo or somewhere, in search of this house fire that was reported.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we really have to deal with as we go along. And then more you call the 911 or the 999 calls, which is our emergency calls. First thing, you're holding up the line by these calls. And then there might be persons who are calling with a genuine report. But again, you have to treat all calls as important calls. So that's why the government would have separated the emergency lines from the 712 11 line so that we could give them that importance that we really need.
Okay.
All right. So question. So I think it might be a rhetorical question, but I'm asking it anyway. 999 and 911, they're operated on, the persons are there all the time, right? 24 hours. if someone happens to call the 71211
Yes. correct.
number during outside of working hours, would it automatically route to the 999 number? No.
No, someone is also there also.
24 hours?
24
Ah,
hours.
okay. This I didn't know.
Yes, 24
Okay.
hours.
Okay.
All right, PC Batiste, so what is your role?
Yes, just like you said, the 7, 12, 11. That's mainly my part.
Ah.
Yes, we are also responsible for the dissemination of information amongst the force. So if, for example, somebody has to go to court, but the person is in Baira, Bayabu, wherever they may be, we're responsible for getting that information to them or to their department or their station where they work. We, as you said, the transfer, the calls, civilians call a lot, and sometimes they may not know where they want to go.
Mm.
They may not know the name of the department. They may not know the name of the person they might be asking for. We have to take that into consideration as well. So we know all the, well, we're supposed to know all the departments, everybody who works everywhere, basically. Right.
Right. For and what I'd like to add to what Batiste had said, for instance, you would call something happen in Mespo. Now, the whole thing about St. Vincent, it is divided into different divisions or districts. So now you have to know where it falls. So it may not be Calico because you're close to Calico. It
Okay,
might be
right.
this other police station is responsible for. So it depends on where the incident takes place. So that way everything comes back to Telecom. So as soon as the calls comes in, Telecom would know who is responsible for this. I could even take it further where you have say murder. First thing what would happen, the call would go to Telecom. Telecom now would be responsible to disseminate this information to the key personnel, the hospital, if you need backup. If it, in case of a murder itself, you have the what do you call it? The coroners. So you now have to know that this is the things you have to do. The hospital, the coroner, and all these persons involved. So while the police is on the scene, Telecom would be in the background calling all these persons, the district
So you're
medical
the
officer.
hub, you're the
Yes,
hub
so
for
everything
us.
comes to
Right.
Telecom.
Okay.
So we just disseminate them.
Okay.
All right, so that means you work closely with public relations and complaints.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And also that information had to be ASAP, as soon as possible.
All right. So we are in that age where people don't always just want to make a call, right? What other facilities are there for persons to reach out to the police, right? Apart from just making a phone call, if we need to get in contact with the police.
Well, the thing is, it's mostly using the telephone. What I need to add is that the 911 and the 999, they are free calls. So you don't have to have any credit to make these calls. So as long as you have a situation, and again, it must be emergency. You cannot say that you're gonna call on the 911 or 999 for your husband who is working at a particular station or department. It is not an emergency.
You
can't
say that like it,
Like
it happened before.
normally.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just looking at different reasons why persons may call.
Making
You
sure he at
understand?
work. That's it.
Right. So there are different reasons why persons may call. But again, Telecom have to, in a quick span, decide what is an emergency. Is it an emergency? Because at the end of the day, so many calls are coming in at the same time, and you don't want to hold up the lines for something that is not an emergency. So that is how serious we treat the emergency lines.
All right. So I'm looking at a scenario, right? Let's say something, God forbid, has happened to me and I am unable to make a voice call, right? But I'm in a position where I do have my phone and I have my phone in my hand. Can I actually place a WhatsApp message to any of the police stations or even to the 999 number?
Yes, you can. we have the our WhatsApp number, and persons did before WhatsApp some information to us.
So 999, I can WhatsApp 999?
No. The 712.
Oh, it's a call.
Yeah.
But I can WhatsApp which number?
71211.
So now you see I'm learning things, so let me put that in my phone. All right, I can WhatsApp that number.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're at 8:25 this morning. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We see that persons were trying to make calls. When we're back from the break, we will take those calls. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back shortly.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry. We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
That's the sound of your animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeding them only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients. No hormones, no animal byproducts. Just everything your animal needs for maximum nutrition. Because your animals deserve only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
Carnival is in the Friday, May 17th.
Upper Bay Street comes alive
with runs and rhythm as we unleash the vibrancy and magic of Vincy Mass 2024, along with the ICC World Cup Trophy Tour. Dive into the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, where the infectious sounds of calypso and soca music fills the air.
The sweet sounds of steel pans spread across the streets, accompanied by the energy of Mardi Gras.
Come and experience the thrill,
the nostalgia,
and the unforgettable moments of the ICC World Cup Trophy Tour.
You're invited to unleash the spirit and dance into the heart of the celebration
as we launch Vincy Mass 2024
on Friday, May 17th at Upper Bay Street. Get ready to unleash the runs and the rhythm,
the vibe, the energy, and the pace.
Carnival again, say we love play. Martin we fin, say we love play.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. each and every morning. It's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is now 8:30, and welcome back to Cop Chat. If you're just joining us, we're talking everything telecom this morning in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, and we have joining us Inspector Olsen Rodney, Sergeant Dorothy Simmons, and Police Constable LeSean Baptiste. Now, what I'm curious about, does that mean that the hub that you said is in Kittles is responsible for all telecommunications regarding to the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Yes. We're responsible for all telecommunication information, but for the receiving of it and the chance for sending out of information to the various departments intended to.
Okay, so is there one big communications department and its section of telecom, public relations? Because what I'm curious about is the information that you're receiving. Who exactly, where exactly are you storing this information so you'll be able to effectively disseminate it?
Yes, everything is done at Telecom. The not the human resource, the public relations. It is a different department by itself. Yes. So if there's any information that we have to send to them, we'll send it to them. Or if there's any information that they would send to us for us to disseminate, that's how it's done.
So am I correct in assuming, or I should say presuming, that you serve as a dispatcher as well?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so if there's a situation in the Grenadines, in Beckway, in Mustique, Union Island, wherever, you're able to know exactly where officers are supposed to be, so you could reach the nearest officer to respond to the issue.
Right. So it's a case where if the call comes to us, because it may go direct to Beckway, right? But if it comes to us now, we will now take that information or take that call and transfer it to Beckway.
Okay. All right, I'd just like to remind the listeners, it is an interactive program. The number to call 457-9997, and the number to WhatsApp is 457-9997, where you can also place calls. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook at WEFM 99SVG. So callers who were trying to call us just now, just feel free to place your calls at this moment. The lines are open.
All right, so I have a question while we await the person to call in back. So I hear that we're using reference to telecommunications in the context of, we have the call. Hi, caller, good morning.
So I hear that we're using reference to.
Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Dave, if you don't mind, just turn down your radio or whatever device you're using for me, please. There's hearing back on ourselves.
I didn't realize something is up there. Let me see.
Hey, could you please turn down your device, Dave? We're getting feedback.
All right, is it clear now? Because I think I've figured out.
Yeah,
everything.
much better.
The question is coming from me as a citizen of this country and one who is very concerned. I'm a friend of the police, especially those police who demonstrate intelligence. Not all police demonstrate intelligence. And intelligence is a very important concern when it comes to police work and all of that. I'm sure you guys must have heard about the CIA. There were people who thought back in my time, there were people who thought that I was a CIA person, whether they use it cheaply or what. But my question is where intelligence is concerned. And we have, and let me just stress, I think we have 1,200 policemen, although some of them have been leaving and all of that. Do we have, let me see how I can frame this question. Do you, as members of the constabulary, believe that we have enough intelligence to deal with today's crime that we are having in this country. I am thinking, for instance, where intelligence is concerned, how do we deal with police intelligence? Do we have a core? Let me just use a random figure, of a dozen or less than that, who would look into some criminal matter and provide the best answer or solution how to deal with that matter. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm just looking at how police carry out their work here, because sometimes the way I see it do things, well, in the past, and all things have become more sophisticated. The police are supposed to elevate, rise to that occasion and so on. But my concern is how we deal with police intelligence if we have to respond to something as an emergency. Thank you.
All right.
Right. Thank you for that call. What I could say, well, we talk in telecommunication, and then you spoke about whether we have the resources and so on to deal with other crimes and so on. Now, what I could say, in St. Vincent, our police force is relatively a young police force when you look at the persons that we have. But we have a lot of dedicated police officers. Some people may believe that because it's a younger force, maybe they don't have that will to deal with these issues. But we have a wonderful police force still, persons who are well dedicated and so on. And I believe we're still doing our best with the resources that we have. So that's how I will answer that question.
Okay.
All right. All right. So callers, remember it is an interactive program, and you can call us or WhatsApp us at 457-9997. All right. So in the interim, so we've been speaking a lot about the reliance of the services of, let's say, Flow and Digital, right? In the effective communication and dissemination of information. What happens in the case of a natural disaster? Are there alternative methods in place for there to be dissemination of information to other police stations within the country, or even to get information out to the public for those who may be able to access it? So let's take this other call, and then hi caller, good morning. Hi caller, good morning. All right, go ahead.
Right. So again, it brings me back to the other part of telecommunication, not just the telephone, but we also have our VHF radio system. In terms of if there's a problem with getting onto the phone, where we at the police station trying to get on in a national disaster, trying to get on to maybe another police station if the phone is down, then we have the second option of using our radio system.
Okay.
Right. So as we speak of national disaster, what you'll find now, say there is a hurricane, and there are persons who would call in to say, well, the house roof is blown off and so on. Most of these calls would not go to NIMO. So a lot of persons would call the police because the police is still always there in disaster, have our roles to play. So we have this link that we still could get on to NIMO, whether via radio or telephone, in terms of if one is down. So we will take these information and we'll send them to NIMO. So that way we receive information from the public, and then we disseminate them to various different places.
Okay, and what about internet? Do you use, like, for instance, most persons are familiar with like Magic Jack and Skype. Have you found yourself using these programs?
No, we don't have a Magic Jack.
Okay. All right. I'm curious because sometimes even Digital and Flow may have problems. I'm wondering, outside of the walkie-talkie that you had mentioned, outside of that, what preventative measure is put in place in case Digital or Flow run into issues?
Right. So this is how we organize things. At Telecom, we have both systems because at times one may go down. So in case line goes down, we still have in case flu goes
We
down.
understood.
Sponsorship gone.
Yes, we
Yeah.
still have Digicel,
Mhm.
and in case that now we still have the radio system.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So we try to be flexible.
All right. So the caller that tried calling in, we weren't getting any audio, and I think that's an issue that we've been receiving with that specific call. So whatever it is that you do to adjust that, feel free to do that this morning.
All right. With regards to, because I'm back on the WhatsApp stuff, right? When are all police stations equipped, or do they have both a fixed line and a WhatsApp number?
No, they don't have. Not all stations would have a WhatsApp, because every police station, they have their way of communicating, but which is mostly the telephone. So that way everything comes back to Telecom again as the hub.
Okay.
So we will just disseminate that information to that department.
All right. So you said that there's a WhatsApp number that can be contacted.
Yes.
Is it that all WhatsApp messages and all social media messages, whether you get an at on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, all of these go through Telecom and then the information is disseminated?
Right. So what we use now is the additional one is WhatsApp and not Twitter and Instagram and so on. And
okay.
I think as time
Even the
goes
Facebook
on,
page?
well, the Facebook page is
Facebook private message?
Yeah, Facebook page is more attached to the public relations. They control the RSVG Facebook page.
Okay, so if it is that a report is being made via Facebook, then they then send that information to you. Oh,
and then we'll just disseminate the information.
Okay.
And another part I didn't touch on is the other aspect of telecommunication department, which is the technical part of it, where we have the telecom workshop. And the telecom workshop now is responsible for all electrical repairs or maintenance within the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force.
Okay.
And that is done by
How much
police
people in your
officers.
department?
So we have over almost 40 persons between the two departments. So what you'll find now, if there's a electrical problem within the organization, it comes to Telecom. If they didn't call direct to Telecom, that information will come to the workshop. And then we now will go, regardless of Mustique, Beckway, Union Island, we're responsible for our electrical.
Okay.
And a point to note, when I joined the police force in 2000, I was not an electrician. I came in as a normal police officer. But I went and I did electrical installation at Technical College. And then I was sent to America to further my studies in electrical.
Okay.
And I came back now as being the person in charge of all electrical work.
Okay.
So that is just showing that the police force is flexible. And that's why I always encourage persons, there's an opportunity for you to join. So whether I didn't have the skills, but then again, the organization offer you these opportunities that is there for you to take. So it's not just being a police officer. You can be more than a police officer. And that is the opportunity given to me while being at Telecom.
Yeah, I think that's one of the interesting points. One of the things I should ask about. I don't know why I thought you were by garage initially. There would be a reason for that, but I think this is one of the points that needs to be brought out a lot more from the police, right? In that people automatically assume that when you join the force, you're going to be put on beat or investigating crimes, etc. But there are several avenues for you to explore actual areas that you have an interest in, So I didn't know this part of your story. So that is commendable, and that's good.
Yes, we have persons who are doing electronics, electrical, and all of these things fall under Telecom. So Telecom is not just the answering of phone, radios, or the CCTV system or what and what. There are these other parts where we have electricians and technicians also at Telecom.
So I'm glad that you mentioned CCTVs. So should I assume that PC Batiste, that's in your area, or would you be one of the officers that is monitoring the CCTV setup in Kingstown?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you know, or could you confirm that more cameras would be set up throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Yes, there will be more cameras coming, well, hopefully in the near future.
And okay,
right. I could also deal with that part. We now in our second phase of CCTV CCTV within the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. And I must thank the Taiwanese who are part of the process, and also ITSD. These are three partners within the CCTV function. We had 190 cameras for the first phase, and then now we are adding another for 130 cameras for the second phase. So right now, the second phase now, we're trying to, because the first phase, you have to see where it was more of a trial phase because it's the first phase. So you will now see where your weaknesses were. How are you going to strengthen them? Because we are now seeing that persons are trying to run away from the cameras.
Which is interesting because, I mean, I know that the cameras are wrong town, but do I actually know where they are? No, to be able to run away from them.
Right.
So I guess I'm not a criminal-minded person, but yeah.
So you'll find
Crumple, she hiding
it. So you'll find persons now who are trying to evade the cameras.
Okay.
And we try now to tighten up, put a little more squeeze
on the blind spots areas.
On the blind spots and so on for the second phase. So it's really an interesting second phase coming. All I'm asking the public to do what is right.
So you had mentioned that it is a collaborative effort, the Royal St. Vincent Grenadines Police Force, the Taiwanese, and ITSD.
Along with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because they are part funders also, along with Taiwan, with the system.
So would ITSD and the telecom department be the ones monitoring the body cams when the body cams are put online?
No, the police is responsible for all cameras in terms of viewing the cameras and so on. ITSD, their role is more of maintenance. Yeah, so we work hand in hand.
So telecom will be surveillance, telecom will be dispatcher.
So telecom is a heavy branch.
It sounds that way.
Yes, it's a heavy branch. But most important, what we try to do is the information that we receive, we try to be confidential as much as possible with these information and so on. So it's a whole lot, but we are up to the task.
All right. So all that thought, Roleza, it is 8:47, soon to be 8:48. We're going to take another commercial break and we'll be back with the remaining minutes of today's Cop Chat. So don't go anywhere.
At Lynch Caribbean, yes, we offer comprehensive insurance solutions and broking. But we are more than an insurance broker. We drill down to your core business strategy. We keep a pulse on risk to keep your operations healthy.
On your mark, get set.
Along the way, helping you to drive competitive advantages. At Lynch Caribbean, we have your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300. Email info@lynchcaribbean.com or visit our office in Beachmont, Kingstown. Follow Lynch Caribbean SVG on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit www.lynchcaribbean.com.
Ready, set, surf. Singer, your favorite family store is now online. Log on today at www.singersvg.com and enjoy our store and products right at your fingertips. Now online are your trusted brands that you have come to love. Refrigerators to chest freezers, gas cookers to toasters, air fryers, mattresses, living room sets, and so much more. Browse our products, check the specs, compare brands and prices, and request parts all online. We have also made bill payments easier, more convenient, and simpler just for you. Log on to www.singersvg.com to learn more. Singer, your family company is keeping up with you and the times. Visit our website today and experience a whole new world of Singer, your trusted online family company.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of.
Well, focus. Join the vibes for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in the Party Stand. Enjoy live performances by top artists, the hottest DJs, and so much more. Get your tickets today from Korea City Store, Kingstown. ICC Men's T20 World Cup, the vibes in the Party Stand. It's gonna be out of this world. Get your tickets now.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:52, and it's about that time where we wrap up our cop chat this morning. This morning, we had with us the Telecoms Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Inspector Olson Rodney, Sergeant Dorothy Simmons, and Police Constable LaShawn Baptiste. If it is that you still have questions for these officers, the number to call is 457-9997. Also, the number to WhatsApp 457-9997, where you can also place calls. We're live on YouTube and Facebook at WEFM99SVG. I see Roleza looking perplexed, so I know she has questions.
All right, so I have a question with relation to the CCT cameras setup, right? Setup in a broad sense. Now, are these cameras, and of course you're going to disclose what you can actually disclose, but anyhow, are these cameras and the monitors being monitored in real time? Because one of the things is that, like even within your home security, you may have a camera, but you're not always there looking at it. And a lot of the times, the camera information is what we use when it is that we're trying to, after we've realized that something has happened. I know that you said you're a 40-man strong team, but I am curious in terms of, are they being generally monitored in real time? Because I have this TV image in my head where people are sitting in front of the monitors looking in case, something is happening. So.
Right. So we have, it is being monitored 24 hours. Being 40 men strong doesn't mean you have the 40 persons because you have different change of shift and so on, person vacation, whatever, and so on. But the to focus is to look at it real time And again, you could only look at a certain amount. Okay, you can't look at 190 cameras at the same time and so on. So we look at it real time, and also where there's an offense committed and so on. It's been utilized a lot by the outstations, traffic department, and various other police officers. So it's really a game changer within the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force.
So how long have these cameras been online?
Since 2021.
Okay, so do they come with facial recognition? That's bad. You know the reason why I asked, right? I remember there was a investigation being done in Camden Park that led the police to find a convict from, I think it was Canada or the US. So I'm wondering now, because on a different cop chat, officers did disclose that the system is often connected with Interpol and different international agencies. So I'm wondering now, when there are persons who flee the countries or they may be on the FBI most wanted list and they come into Kingstown, if it's the CCTV can in fact pick them up, and you can assist the international bodies in apprehending these criminals.
Yes, well, what happened with our system, we work hand in hand with the IT department and also Interpol, CID, these agencies. So what we normally do, whatever information we requested information, we will provide the footage that we have. As far as I'll put it.
Yeah, that's like we're not able to disclose whether or not we have facial recognition. I had another question. You know, now we're talking facial recognition. It slipped me. Old age really coming, boy.
I think that's old age. Anyway, maybe I'll leave you alone with that one.
One of the things some people believe that I've heard it before, that some people believe that the CCTV system is just a joke. But that is not true. It works a lot for the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force. There's a lot of convictions we have in court, and it's being used often in court where we're using CCTV. That's why I said before, it's really a game changer. So some people who believe, you understand, it's not working, that is not the case. I remember, and I could give you a small example. We had an issue where there were this person targeting ladies around Kingston. He would go and take away person's bag and their cell phone and so on and what and what. And it was difficult to catch that person. But then persons from the department saw this gentleman just similarly with the other crimes that were committed and so on. And we were able to inform CID. CID went and they got him and so on and what and what. And through that and other footage, he was responsible and convicted for several other crimes.
Okay.
So the system is working. But as I said before, you just do what is right.
Yes, so you hear that, listeners? Big Brother is watching. Do what is right. Final question. When would the body cams come online?
Right. Right now, the second phase, we're waiting the shipment from Taiwan. It's en route already.
Okay.
So we're in the process now, waiting for the container to come. So it would be here at some point.
What's the quantity expected?
Well, right now for the body cams, it would be 30 at the moment, because it's just it's something new that we're getting into. So as long as we put everything in place and so on, we'll follow more as we go down.
Given that it will be 30, and I'm assuming that with that information, that means we should expect it in the upcoming months.
Yes, because they were purchased already.
Yeah.
Yes. It's for us now we're still awaiting the shipment.
Are you able to disclose what the priority departments would be? Would it be the rapid response unit? Would it be the traffic cops? Are you able to disclose that information at this point?
Well, that direction will come from the Commissioner of Police as to how he see it fit, the areas that But we have to look at policing in a different way now. It's not that you're trying to, we don't want to hide any crime. And it would work out good for the police and also for the public. So we don't want persons to feel as though they don't want to wear it because of anything. All it does is to protect you, the police, and also you, the civilian. It would tell you what happened.
Yeah. All right. So we at the 9 o'clock mark, and if there's anything that you'd like to leave with the public officers, this is your chance to do so before we end this segment.
I'd like to encourage the parents or guardians, whenever their children they themselves are using the phone, teach them the use of the emergency line, because sometimes they may call and state a falsehood, and somebody might be on the other line trying to get on, but because you have to entertain that one, the person might not be able to get on ASAP. Also, to cooperate with us whenever we ask you questions is because we need the direct location where the report happened.
Baptiste?
Right. And I'd like to strengthen what Sergeant Simon just said. The police, I don't know when you call in with an emergency, you might be frantic, you might be, but some of the questions is to get the clarity as to location or the information, because it doesn't just stop at telecom. It have to go now to the relevant persons who are responsible to help you. So just be patient, just for us to get, the important information so we could pass it on.
All right. Thanks for joining us this morning, officers. Oftentimes, as Roleza pointed out, when persons hear about the Royal Simmons and Grenadines Police Force, they hear traffic, they hear CID, they hear Black Squad, but you cannot overlook the hard work that you're doing in the telecoms department, and we applaud you for the work that you're doing and continue. You're right. We applaud you this morning. Thank you, and keep doing good work, and do have a good day. Well, I was going to say gentlemen, but officers. Both men and women of the Royal Simmons and Grenadines Police Force. So thanks for joining us this morning.
All right, you're welcome. Have a